Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the KISS Crit Series North America, race number 7. We are on the West race today. Real quick, we want to talk about the leaderboards for both the West and the East before the racers do get going. In the men's racing right now for the West that we are covering right now, we are looking at Scotty Weiss, Greg Leo, Jonathan Huron, and then it will be Scott Cunningham from Team Draft, as well as Brandon Meltontallo out there from the KISS Racing team. On the women's side of things in the West, we also have Jennifer Rios, who's been dominating the series, Katie Levi, Christine Culver, Catherine Salvatierra, and Dawn Victor. Be watching out for Dawn as well as Catherine Salvatierra are moving their way up in the leaderboard. Also, Janice Denning, be watching out for her. Also in the East that just did finish, Laura Fideo is leading things out, maybe having some change-ups, though, in this leaderboard, as we did just see the race complete, so we'll have to wait up for that. But this week, amongst the women on the East, this was the leaders, and then Justin Pierre Ficati was the leader, along with Adam Zimmerman, Casey Shum, and Eric Lassell, Eric Sorensen as well. So that's the current situation. Now, what's the leaderboards are all about in the KISS Racing Crit Series? It's all about the final for North America's that they will be invited to, the top 5 from the East and the West, for a final to battle it out for the top 10 men and women for this crit series presented by Cyclops. Now, we do have a race starting out for the men's. They're about to take off from the pens right now, actually, and we are actually with the series leader, Scotty Weiss, leading things out right from the get-go, right along with Basalts here. Now, we do have some special guests with us as well, and Rasan Bahati is on site actually at I. Martin Cycles over in California, actually, and I think we can bring Rasan in actually with some guest racers out on course that are jumping into the women's race as well. Rasan, are you there with us, ready to cover some racing action with the women?
Yes, Nathan, I'm here. We have a bunch of ladies on trainers at the bike shop in Beverly Hills. I don't know if this has ever been done before, but everyone's excited. They're going to get going in about 40 seconds, and little do they know they're going to be in a lot of pain pretty soon here.
Yeah, for sure. And the women they're about to get on course here. It looks like they've been warming up for quite a while, actually. I saw the I saw them getting going on the bikes about an hour ago or so, so they're probably nice and warmed up. It looks like about 18 seconds to the start of the race. 25 other women in there, kind of throwing in some wild cards today with the LaGrange women's team.
Well, I had to give them a heads up. I had to let them know that they must get a warm-up because they have no idea how hard these events are. So I said, make sure you get a warm-up, and they are off right now. I see 700 watts. I see 550. I see 500 watts. I see 636. They're not taking this race lightly. The girls from LaGrange have hit the paddock, leaving the paddock at 100% effort, and they have some coaching from the back. From Mike Davis is actually in the house from Helen Cycles. You know Mike from racing the WBR. Yes, they are affiliated with Helen Cycles, so he's here to give the ladies some advice. And hopefully they have a great race. So they are off and running.
Right on. Awesome. But we'll be following along with them. It was for sure. We'll be looking for the names in game as they get going for the race out here. I do see a little bit of attack here from Kay Rollins right off the bat. And Rollins in, I'm assuming that Rollins may be one of the LaGrange riders. I'm also seeing Reinhardt in there as well, and being in some kits that do not look like the LG kits, maybe, or any of the kits I'm familiar with. Is there LG kits in game? Actually, that is a question that I'm wondering about.
There are no LG kits in game. You know that process, Nathan. But I'm pretty sure one day there will be some LG kits in game. LaGrange is one of the biggest cycling clubs in California. I would just narrow down to Southern California, but I would say in California altogether. So perhaps one day soon we will see an LG kit in game, but it better not be before Bahati Foundation.
So I am seeing a few attacks from the ladies actually there though, because I have a feeling they're going to be in some of the regular Zwift kits actually, the first login kits, a few of them.
Yep.
So I'll keep eyes on them as we do get going. I'm going to jump back over to the men's real quick. I'll let you do some announcing there on site live with them. And as we get a little further in the race, I'll throw back to you in just a moment. So Rasan, it's all you live there for just a moment. I'm going to get back to the men's and then we'll shoot back to you guys for the women in just a few, okay?
Yep.
All right, so we do have those guys on site over there, but let's get back with the men's racing as there is some serious attacks going on early on, as always, with Scotty Weiss. He was trying to break the pack, it looked like, fairly early on here, but was unable to really turn the screws enough here to make that break here. But we do have our Brit here as well as Watson. There's Anthony Vegan Porsche in there as well. So a couple of Australians throwing their chips on the table today. So gonna be an interesting race with them for sure. Throwing, you know, a few extra maybe wrenches in there for some of the riders that are looking to grab some points on the day here. Now, watch out for Scotty Weiss though. Every single race so far, he has broken away and ended up solo away from the rest of the pack. G. Leo, who is second overall in the West Series right now, right on his wheel, making sure he does not let him go anywhere right up front here. But also Johnny Rocket, third overall in the series for the KRT team. I believe third overall. Let me just double check that. Yes, he is. As well as Scott Cunningham from Team Draft. Cunningham is in there as well. Currently seeing him sitting in around 8th place or so and moving his way up to the front as well, because every time on the Volcano circuit, there is a surge over the 2-tier back into the volcano. It's all about the Volcano 2-tier climb out on this course. There's also some attacks that can take place on the downhills, but usually it is the Volcano 2-tier that really matters out on course here. Then we also have Brandy Melting Tallow out there. Watch out for him. The Melting Man, always one to watch out for, and he will be in the KRT kit as well. KRT and Draft, the two teams that you're going to be watching out for, they'll be working together to keep their riders in the top spots. But Scotty Weiss, they're up toward the front in that leader's kit, as you can see here, and is going to be looking, I think he's already solidified his spot in the final. He's won every race he showed up to. I think it's 7 or 8 races. So since he already has his best of 7 in, I wonder if he showed up to work for some teammates or somebody out on course. We'll have to wait and see how that ends up playing out. Basalt's going off the front here along with Britt from the KRT team. So that's the current situation. We'll wait and see if there's any kind of breaks that take place in the men's race right now. And then we'll head on over to the women as they will be on their way down the opposite side of the volcano in just a moment and doing their first 2-tier climb, which is really going to let us know where the front group is going to stand. As you can see here in the men's race, though, Johnny Rocket trying to hang on in the back. Here's Jay Cruz out of Australia trying to close that down, though. 10 watts per kilogram. Heinen's there as well, trying to close it down. If you do not make this group now, it will be curtains for the rest of the race. This is the break for sure. Our work from Team Experimental, they're trying to go right along with it. MA from Innovation is there, coming out of Japan as well. Worldwide, it looks like a worldwide pack here out on course. Actually, riders from all over the world showing up for the big screen today here, it looks like, in the crit series. Now G. Watson here out of Australia at the front with the SW following right up. No breaks just yet, so it looks like it's all going to be Grupo Compacto amongst the men for now. Let's jump back in with Rasan and the LaGrange Cycling. So how are things looking over there with the women? What are the breaks looking like? I'm going to take a look at the main scene here real quick, but looks like they're definitely working. A little bit of chatting between them too. Maybe some team tactics for them.
Things are going well. Oh yeah, things are going well. These girls know exactly what to do. They had some great instructions. Believe it or not, I believe this is the first time most of them have been in a Zwift race. So far so good. A majority of the group is still all together. We saw who will we see? We saw Katie Rowlands leading the pack early on, and I just have a little note from her. She's newly licensed civil engineer, so that's pretty cool. You never know who you're going to find on Zwift, and she loves tacos, so she could be my friend because I love tacos too.
I think to your right there, Rasan, I believe it's to your right, T. Grant, is that right? To your right there is actually sitting in 7th place overall right now, hammering away, looking fairly strong actually with this front runners in the pack right now.
Let's see if I can get a word from Tina. Tina, how you feeling, Tina?
Oh man, this hurts, but it's awesome.
I don't know if you heard that. Very subtle voice. Tina's feeling great. I actually had an opportunity to work with Tina in some sprint clinics and some criterium clinics. Very talented rider and doing a great job in Zwift today.
Looks like 160 beats per minute coming from Tina right now. Absolutely hammering to hang on through the 2-tier.
Yeah,
actually making her way directly to the front. 460 watts right now. Grant is throwing down the power. Oh my goodness here.
Tina's feeling good.
It looks like Rollins
She's
is
on
right
the
along
solo
with
attack.
her. You know, Rasan,
Absolutely.
it looks like
high,
the GRANGE girls
Go
are definitely on the power tonight and putting a little bit of extra watts into the group here. And some of the familiar riders maybe finding themselves on the back foot right now.
Oh yes, and these are new racers to the KISS series, so no one knows who these ladies are, and they're coming out of the woodworks and they're swinging the bat hard and they're definitely hitting the ball. So this is going to be a good race. Tina's taking a little break now. Heart rate's at 166, RPM's right around 97. She brought her watts down. We saw her hit upwards of 400 watts. Now she's at about 300. So she's had on the land pretty nice, and she just got a beer hand up. So I think, I don't know, in the rules of KISS racing, can you drink the barley? I don't know.
I don't know if there's any rules on whether or not you can consume what you consume on the bike. Actually, during the virtual racing,
I'll tell you this, Nate,
she might be okay with that one.
Her watts just went down. As soon as she had that gope, her watts went down, and now she's chasing. She knows what it feels like now to lose 2 seconds in a Zwift KISS race. It's not easy.
It's definitely not easy at all. Now, Jennifer Rio, the current series leader, that's the one that these women want to be watching out for. She's in that yellow Big Z kit. You can't miss it. They currently have, it looks like, about 15 riders, 14 riders. As Grant is actually falling off the back. Oh, no, tell Tina to get going. 166 beats per minute. She's got to close this gap right now, or it is curtains for the rest of the night. 600 watts from Tina. Up and out of the saddle, get her moving, and look at her, look at that effort right now. Grant is going almost back on the wheel, 1 second, but now the watts fall out. She's got to keep going. Back to 2 seconds, and the whole crowd is going wild trying to get her moving there. We'll see if she can hang on, but I've been in that situation so many times.
Meanwhile, I'm next to Julie White, and she's just cruising along. 164 watts. Heart rate is right at about where I start to die, 173 beats per minute. But she's sitting in 6th place, and she's not even breaking a sweat. She has a little headband on. Julie, how you feeling?
Oh, tired.
She's already tired. She's been racing for about 10 minutes. You got a little ways to go, but I think she's one of our quiet assassins here.
I can see that, actually. Looks like she's playing it smart. Now, these riders do know that there's real drafting in-game. I know it's their first times, a lot of them riding out on Zwift, racing out on Zwift. Drafting in-game, hold on those wheels. Same thing as in real life. Play it smart if they've done any crit racing. So we're following up White here. Actually, we got her on screen here. It does look like, though, she might have done some racing in the past, unless she changed up her kit on purpose there, as we are seeing that... a special Zwift kit actually in game, not just the one that's the login screen. So somebody was doing a little bit of avatar change up there. It looks like either she's a familiar Zwifter.
Truth be told, truth be told, you can't hide in Zwift. Everything is exposed in Zwift. We have to get an interview with her after the race. We'll get the lowdown.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Now we do some attacks here in the men's race. We'll be back with you in just a minute, Rasan. We're going to jump back in the men's race here real quick as Scotty is attacking off the front. It looks like just a moment ago. Doesn't look like it was able to get anywhere with that attack just yet, though. And maybe a little bit of a chink in the armor, though, of the rest of the riders, as we do see a 6-second gap back to Heinen, as well as Cheser from Race WBR. So WBR with Team Experimental And then we are looking at TTNW here as well out of the US of A trying to get back. Baby Rage is here as well out of the US of A with Healy and Hugh right on the wheel. It looks like this will be the chase group back in 19th place, but things have split very early here. There's a lot of racing left to go, about 30 minutes of racing or so that they're going to finish most likely this it is about a 20.5 mile course out here. 7 laps on the volcano. Cunningham up the front here. Now seeing the attack from Weiss, who does not let up. Leo's going right along with him here. Watch out for the Lion from Team Draft. 5.3 watts per kilogram coming from him, but it will be Scotty Weiss now. 6.8 now with a counter as they make their way through that halfway point on the lap into their second lap in the volcano right now. 13 minutes of racing down, and I have a feeling that the watts per kilogram are up into the 5.5 or so at this point. So absolutely demolishing these watts out on course. Now, if you would like to interact with the broadcast, you can do so. We can bring all of your questions and comments. If you are unfamiliar with Zwift, you're unfamiliar with Zwift racing, what the series is all about, we can actually bring all of your questions, your comments, or who your favorite racer is, and you want to have a chat about that in the Facebook post on Zwift's Facebook live stream or over on our Twitter. You can just go ahead and interact directly with the broadcast, actually. And let's go ahead and see if we got any of these comments coming through here. We've got Robert F. Themos actually coming through here. Looks like a friend of Tina, excuse me, as he's coming through with a little bit of a comment, and we'll use that as an example. Here's how you can interact directly with our broadcast here. You can comment on Zwift's Facebook. You can comment over at Zwift Community Live, or we do have the YouTube as well, and we'll be watching that as best as we can. Most of our interactions, though, do happen over on the Facebook, on Zwift's Facebook or on our Twitch, or you can go ahead and send photos at Z Community Live over on Twitter or Instagram. Actually, you have to tag at Z Community Live to get those involved in the broadcast, though. But you can do that as well, and we'll be able to see those photos coming on through. If you have live photos coming from the event, go ahead and shoot those out there. If you got live photos of your event going on in your pain cave right now, go ahead and send those on through. We love to see Zwift setups. A lot of times people like to show us what's going on with the real life experience of Zwift. And looking through here to see if there's any more coming on through. Kenny Sue saying lost the draft, talking about, I think, Tina coming trying to get back on to this. Ryan Wecker saying this is pretty cool. I need to get on Zwift. I'm with you there, Ryan. Let's jump on Zwift, dude, and get moving. Scotty does not like hanging out with the Blob, Johnson is saying either. For those of you who don't know, the pack out on Zwift that tends to be able to bring back any attacks being so strong, a lot of times with all of the surging at the front, a lot of times it's very difficult to break that. The only one really consistently able to do so within the Zwift races in this crit series has been in the West series with Scotty Weiss, able to really throw down some huge numbers to get that going. Velo Club, looks like LaGrange is in the house, so let's get some women's action. We'll get that back up on screen ASAP. Got to make sure to cover the men's just a little bit. We'll jump back in with Rasan in just a second, but thanks a lot, Velo Club. We love to have the LaGrange, excuse me, I think I'm saying that wrong, LaGrange in the house. Ed Mooney, thanks a lot for the comments as well. So 5 laps to go in the men's race. Then we've got G. Leo here following up there, and looking back, it looks like they were able to break Johnny Rocket off the back here. This is a little bit of a dangerous spot for him, as Rob Britt, super strong rider, actually, in and amongst these racers here, maybe going to be able to take a few spots from some of the other riders that have been trying to make their way into this top 5. Is Cunningham in there is the question. He has made it. So sorry, Cunningham's there. Leo, it looks like, has made it. The Melting Man has made it. It looks like all the rest. Scotty Weiss is there as well. So Johnny Rocket, the only one who's off the back here from that lead group. That is a dangerous spot to be in. If Brett can get the better of him in this top 10 situation here, he may be able to grab a few points and work his way up the leaderboard. So back in with the women's racing, though. Let's see what's happening with the live action coming in from the Lagrange women's team here. Rasan, how are things going there? What's the situation out on course right now? Who's where? What's happening? Any breaks?
Yep. It's definitely getting steamy in here. We had to open all the doors and windows. The ladies are racing very hard. I'm standing next to Claire Reinhardt. I don't know if you guys remember, Reinhardt's a very famous name in the cycling world. No H. She made that clear. No H. Looked me dead in the eye when she said that. But this girl can lick her own elbows. I think that's amazing. I didn't make that up. This is what she told me in her bio. But she is absolutely killing it right now. You may not be able to see her on the live feed, but we have a couple.
Wave your hands way back there. We see you way back in the corner. Yeah, you got the Apple devices back there.
And they are actually on, exactly. They're on the iOS system, the brand new iPad, which is absolutely beautiful to do your Zwifting on with that beautiful 4K image. And she's just cruising along, 170 watts right now, digging a little bit, not sweating up a storm. I think she's going to be one to watch towards the end. A lot of the ladies do not know her, so she's going to have a good race. Hey, Nathan, 13.7 miles to go. Not a little walk in the park, so this race is yet to be decided.
Yeah, I am seeing that actually with Reinhardt's actually in here, 3.7 watts per kilogram, 220 watts, sitting in a very, very tactical position right now. Just making her way to the front of the pack, about to make their way on that 2-tier. And I bet you up and out of the saddle is what we've seen over and over again, I would think, at this section of the course. I do see Roland's in there as well. Looking through for a couple more of the ladies coming from Lagrange team here. And it looks like it is going to be Reinhardt. Roland's is made as well. Jay White is off the back at this point, so was not able to make that break, it looks like. 105, 106 back. She's in no woman's land right now, though. 14th place. Looks like Tina, her teammate, though, is chasing her down. They might be able to get together and make the chase, though, back up to some of the stragglers off the front group.
And I'll tell you, Nate, I'm with the instigator of this whole project, Tracy. She's sitting pretty nice, too. 212 watts right now as they work their way back into the volcano. 3.4 watts per kilo, 8 miles in. I say she's looking pretty good. I would love to see her heart rate, but she decided to let the dog eat the heart rate monitor. That sounds familiar in this whole Lagrange area. So we won't talk about that much longer. But, yeah, she's looking pretty good. I would say a majority of the girls are still in the field, and we'll give these girls a nice run for their money towards the end of the race, Nathan.
And can you help me with the pronunciation here? Is it Paso there with Tracy?
Is it Paso?
Next to you?
Paso.
She's
not even breathing hard. She said, "Yeah, not even breathing. It's Paso,
hard.
dude. It's Paso.
It's Paso, Reinhardt, and we're seeing there in there, and Rollins. That's the three from the Lagrange women's team right now, still in that lead group, hammering away as we can see. So it looks like they may be challenging Jennifer Reel here, who is in that leader's jersey. But as you can see, they got to get on this attack. There's a little bit of a gap at this point. 3 seconds right now. Gillick is on the front, the Canadian, with Jennifer Reel. Gaffney as well from the United States MES there. Pedal Racing now trying to close it down right along with Kreisel from Team Draft. Looks like Paso is right there, though, along with Rollins and Reinhardt, following up the wheels there and playing it smart, trusting the group to close it down perhaps if they've got any effort left. Now we do see it looks like Tracy's up and out of the saddle for a moment there.
Now. You have to close the gap now. If they do not close this 3-second gap, their race is going to be over. It's just the way it happens. You have to keep pressure on the pedals at all time when you're inside Zwift.
Yeah, it looks like here Paso did exactly that here. 5 watts per kilogram from her, brings the pack back. Roland's able to come right along with it. Reinhardt there, 1 second back, and the pack is all back together. The ladies that are usual in the virtual racing are definitely looking at each other like, who are these women showing up, messing up all of our tactics here, closing the gap, shutting things down. And it looks like Lagrange is in the house, showing us they got the power in the women's race. It'll be interesting for the sprint into the final couple of laps. Actually, they've got about another 20 minutes of racing, maybe a little more than that. It's gonna be about 20 miles. They're 9 miles in, so about 11 miles of racing to go. Currently, a front group, what looks to be about 14 riders. Now, Jay White and it looks like White and Grant now getting together as a group, though, as a chase group, about 2 minutes back now. And how quickly those gaps just open up, though, out on course here. You know, White and Grant here, though,
it is
next to each other. You know what's interesting, Rasan? They're actually next to each other, I think, in real life with you right now, I believe. White and Grant are actually right there next to each other on the far end. Maybe get a little bit of a interview at them point with them some point to see what they're thinking about the current tactical situation out on course for them. What are they gonna be doing in order to bring maybe something back? Are they even thinking about that at this point, or are they just like, nah, that's okay. We're just gonna leave this alone and work together to try and hold off the chasers, as this is insanely hard.
Yeah, let's figure it out. So I'm here with Grant. She is 1 minute and 53 seconds up from the lead, from the chase group, and she's 2 minutes and 18 seconds back. What do you say? Are you going to try to consolidate your position right now? Or are you going to try to chase that 2 minute gap? It'll suck to get caught by the 2 minute group behind you.
Oh, we're not going to get caught. No. Slowly but surely, we're going to reel them in.
That's confidence right there. You know what? Belo Club LaGrange is like the Philadelphia Eagles. They are the underdogs, and they're going to rate. We got a Pats fan. I'm out. I'm putting the iPad down. I'm out of here. The underdogs are going to win. Belo Club LaGrange is going to be the underdogs in this race, and they're going to come out on top.
And it looks like they're definitely working together, though. White and Grant here, as you can see, next to each other, definitely have some focus. We are seeing 162 beats per minute here coming from Grant. White there, 167. Trading poles, making sure that McKinn's, Monahan, as well as Quinn cannot close that gap down. So they're going to, it looks like, be able to hold on to this spot out on course. But up toward the front here, series leader Real still playing it smart. Jennifer's in there. It looks like very, very smart moves here from her. Now, I do not see Katie Levi, though, in this lead group tonight. And if we look at the current leaderboard situation, Jennifer, of course, in that Big Z kit there, skipped last week, it looked like, so she needs to get another W on the board, actually. Dawn Victor, I think, as well as Catherine Salvatierra, took some solid results there on the week. Christine Culver, I believe, did too. So I'd be watching out for these women coming up on the leaderboard to maybe take over second, third, fourth, fifth, maybe even sixth place, moving into the top five. So Jennifer, I don't think is under threat, but I think those second through fourth places may be watching out. Now, I haven't seen Dawn, though, out on course just yet. I'm going to be watching out and see if we do see Victor in this lead group at all. I'm not seeing Victor, though, out on course. So Jennifer, maybe only thinking about these wild cards that have been thrown into the race with her. I mean, she's got riders she's never raced against now, from coming at us live here from iMartin Cycles there, and it's going to be interesting to see if they can maybe throw a wrench into Jennifer's plans.
Yeah, you know, Nathan, we talk about it all the time in our streams, how the point structure is set up a certain way, and how sometimes when you get new riders into the race, the leaders actually don't mind having the new riders take points away because it keeps them very neutral. So, for instance, if a LaGrange rider can go ahead and take the W today, and one of the leaders of this KISS race can come in second or third and push some of her competitors a little farther back, it actually is an advantage for her to have the newbies come in and soak up some of those points. So it's kind of interesting to allow the newbies to come in and participate in the middle of a series.
The newbies. Now that probably doesn't explain the massive amount of power and skill to hang with this lead group right now. Maybe newbies when it comes to Zwift racing, but they've definitely shown that they've got the power to hang on here. Now, how are they using their power-ups? Do they have Zwift mobile links there? Do they have keyboards in front of them? Do they have the ability to use a power-up? Or do we have a little bit of a disadvantage even here for the LaGrange girls?
They have the ability to use the power-ups. Their keyboards is about 2 feet away. I'm taking wagers, $10, and I would do the power up for them, so I could make about $80 tonight if they pay me $10 to hit the keyboard.
$10
I don't see anyone with the Zwift mobile link app on their phone. Grant said, "Here, put it on the credit card. I'll cover the whole team." So I think towards the end of the race, we will definitely notify them that they can use their power up and grab their keyboards and get them going.
Sounds
I'm
good.
looking at some of the screens. A lot of the riders actually haven't been riding Zwift, so this is sort of new to them, and hopefully this is an introduction that will last forever, and they will up their subscription and get to Zwifting.
So they're probably starting to unlock all kinds of achievements actually on the screens.
Oh yeah,
racing. They probably got the wattage, like the wattage, the wattage, the Volcano 5 lap. I mean, there's all these different achievements that if you will unlock immediately if you start racing, because you break all kinds of thresholds for achievements in game if you race out on Zwift. That's for sure. So looking through here, we're gonna get back in with the men's racing here real quick. We'll be back with you guys in guys and gals in just a moment. We're gonna make sure that we see what the situation is. It looks like another break has taken place in the men's race just a moment ago. So we'll be right back with you guys and gals in just a second, Rasan. So it looks like here in the men's race, then we do have Cunningham here off the back, though. He was with the lead group. This is an interesting situation as 127 up. Cunningham has gone full on nuclear out on course here today. Now, remember, Scott Cunningham is currently in 4th place overall in the series for the North America West presented by Cyclops. So this is a serious situation as to whether or not this is he's going to be able to hold on to this placing, because there is a chase group on the way up to him that is currently holding on to the 3rd place overall, who has all of the motivation in the world to bring him right back in to the fold here. Now we are looking through, and it looks like Basalt's Johnny Rocket as well as Hunt here is going to be trying to bring them back. Now let's see if we can get back to a fan view of Mr. Scotty Weiss. We do have Scotty here at the front of the race, I believe, with G, Leo, and the Melting Man here. So Scotty here attacking the Melting Man a lot, as well as Leo there. Stark Avengers is in there. It looks like we've got Tony Stark out on course here somehow. I'm not sure if he's going to turn into Iron Man for the sprint and use some sort of weird afterburners, but we definitely have the man himself here out on course, Stark. But now Scotty here, 156 beats per minute right now. Scotty just taking it easy, it looks like. Not too much of an effort from him out on course here. But now we are getting a little bit of jumping around from the fan view, so we're going to have to wait up for the jumping around to calm down just a little bit. Hopefully we can stay with the riders here, get a solid view here of what's taking place for the men's race. But it looks like as they are kind of all over the place, we're going to get back over to the women. Let's real quick, though, see if any of these social media is coming through with any questions at all whatsoever, or comments actually. So looking through here for some of the new stuff. Go Scotty Hunt, go Canada, coming through from Eduardo Cabral. We're seeing Ed Mooney, no rain, must not be London. Z Carter saying, have to watch tomorrow, so see you night. I'll see you later, Z. Thanks a lot for stopping in. And looking through here for a few more, and couple more comments. Go Jennifer Real, coming from Katrina Weiss, and love to see all the comments that do come through chatting about who your favorite racer is out here. So it looks like Katrina is cheering on the series leader, who is Jennifer Real out here. Looks like also David Lipscomb giving a little bit of encouragement to Katrina, who did get a solid result tonight, actually, from her coach, David Lipscomb from CIS Cycling there. Then we are seeing Giannis Denning saying, okay, so Giannis actually letting us know she is a racer in the series. She was sitting in 6th overall, quickly making her way up to the top ranks, actually. But it looks like Giannis and Katie are sitting out for the night. If you want to watch some serious racing, Giannis Denning knows how to suffer. That's for sure. It's those cyclocross race background that definitely is good for her. So looking through couple more of the comments maybe over at the Twitch channel here. If you haven't headed over to our Twitch channel, make sure to do so. Always like to mention that as well. It's twitch.tv/Swift Community Live. That will give you push notifications to your desktop app as well as your mobile app, your Twitch desktop app, or your Twitch mobile app. If you download those, you can follow our channel. You also get an email if you turn that on after you follow, so that you will be able to get updates of any time we go live with any content on Zwift Community Live, highlighting all of the awesomeness in the Zwift community. So we're gonna jump back in with the women's racing here, and it looks like the situation currently is Paso off the back here, and not a good. It looks like suffering a little bit here. Roland's though still in there though. Reinhardt's there as well. I'm gonna jump in with Rasan. Rasan, I see it looks like you're ready for an interview, actually. So let's go ahead and bring that right on in. Rasan, how's it going?
I have my first. It's going good. I have my first casualty. Unfortunately, she was sitting 22nd, and she said, "You know what? I'm going out tonight. I got to have some energy for dinner." Tell me, Danielle, from down under, what it was like out there.
That was tough. I love to Zwift and I love to get on there and do my workouts. But racing, oh my God! If you get dropped, you're done. You gotta go hard right from the gun, and it's game on nonstop.
I told you, it's a story of my Zwifting life. I get dropped all the time and I never get back on. It's something you have to practice. Mike Davis is here. He seemed to know how to do this. He may have a little cheat code or something. I don't have the cheat code, and I work for the company. So, well, good job. Thanks for coming out and hanging out with us at iMartin. LaGrange, you guys are an awesome club, and if you can say anything about anyone, now is your time.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know. You know what? One of the reasons why we came out tonight was to really kind of raise the profile of women's racing in SoCal, you know, and we're trying to get women out there to race and have some fun. So, you know, if you want to race, come out and join us.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Danielle. Enjoy the rest of your night. So, yeah, she had a good time, and she knows how to call it quits. Nothing wrong with that. I do it every day, pretty much every time I get on Zwift. So, but I have a good time.
The reality of getting dropped on Zwift and being in a situation where you're in no man's land, no women's land, completely alone, solo TT.
Yep.
And it's over, and you're out, and that pack is traveling at like 5 miles per hour faster than you are, and it's like impossible. It feels impossible.
It is.
It's so difficult.
It is. And again, because I'm getting dropped in these races, is actually teaching me to time trial a little better. You know, I get into a zone, I'm able to hold a certain watt, and it's helping me. It's something that I was never good at, which is like just endurance riding. I'm always about a big burst of speed at the end. So like I said earlier in our broadcast yesterday, I think Zwift is going to really revolutionize and change the way people race. Bike races will be faster, 100%. I went on the record, and I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again.
Yeah, so there's also the reality of that this race, though, is a specialized race. This is a race that is competing for a live event invite, right? So they're going to have some of the best racers in North America out on Zwift, absolutely hammering. So there is the reality that there are other races out on Zwift. So, you know, somebody might see this and go, oh my gosh, that sounds really intimidating. Actually, there are all different categories you can jump into Zwift racing, actually, at all different times. The Crit Series is a high-profile race. Expect a very high pace. Expect that they're going to be hammering from the get-go. There are racers at all different levels that do join it, but if you want to be in the lead group of that category, it's going to be difficult. You got to be able to hold around 3.0 to 4.5 within the women's, even more if you jump into, you know, the very tip of that iceberg, the cream of the crop, maybe even a little bit more than 4 or 5 amongst the women. So It is very fast racing, but there are other races out there and other group rides as well and events that are competitive that have A, B, C, D category races as well, where the watts per kilogram are in the D category, 2.5 or less. In the C category, you're looking at 2.5 to 3.2. In the B category, you're looking at 3.2 up to 4.0. And in the A category, 4.0 or more. You know, the caveat to this series presented by Cyclops is going to be that it is going to be expected 4.0 or higher amongst most of the racers.
Nathan, I have some bad news. Rollins has been dropped from the lead pack. She was in there the entire time, and with 5.8 miles to go, she has lost the will of the lead group. So now she's in no man's land, and we know no man likes to be in no man's land. She's got a smile on her face, so at least she's enjoying the ride right now. But we were really pulling for Rollins. We'll see what happens, and I doubt that the lead group will sit up and she will get back on.
I have a movie quote.
Are.
I got a movie quote in my head now, though. I have, like, for some reason, I have "I am no man" like ringing in my ears at this point, though. I have a little bit of "I am no man." So, but anyways, Reinhardt, though, maybe the hope for LaGrange out there, though. She's still in there, but the attacks are at the front.
Still in it.
And we do see a little bit of the turning of the screws again. It looks like Quinn out of Canada there did put in, Seal there out of the USA, actually, who it was. Yep. Put in a little bit of a dig. Chrysler's there as well from Team Draft. Jennifer Reel's going, the series leader as well. Gillick's there now, 1 second off the back. Reinhardt's got to close it down, it looks like right now, though, if she wants to go with it. Roland's off the back, as you said. Culver from Team Fearless there trying to close it down. Looks like Reinhardt is playing it smart, able to get back on the wheel there, and still a group of about 10 women on the front of this race right now in this crit series and battling out for those live spots.
And Nathan, look who I have here. It's the bowling ball himself, Mike Davis. He's been giving Reinhardt some advice over here. He's been in her ear the entire time. Maybe she's a little tired of him, and that's why she's a little tired on the bike. I don't know. What are you telling her?
I'm just telling her ride hard. Ride on and ride hard.
You sound like an amateur fan. That's what my mom says. Move up.
Get going.
I guess that's all you can say. No, but it's good to have Mike here.
He didn't bring the dog with him. Did he bring the dog with him? Is he going to cause any havoc?
He brought the dog.
No, the dog stayed home. Is locked up, and I'm not even there.
Cruelty to animals.
No cruelty to the animals. No. Oh, my goodness. And so we're looking through here, and there's no dog to cause any mayhem or mechanicals here. Nope. Mike Davis, for those of you who don't know the inside joke there, Mike Davis a few weeks ago was racing in this crit series, and his dog ate his computer, essentially, and was unable to finish the race here. But in the women's race, though, it looks like still a lead group all together. Reinhardt's there.
And Reinhardt is back in the group. Absolutely.
Rollins, though, 38 seconds back. They were able to drop off Quinn. Savatier is in there still as well. Team Fearless now with, it looks like, 2 riders hammering away there with Jay Reel as well as Culver. Culver currently sitting third overall in the series now, so definitely a threat still. Now, we are in the last half a lap for the men's. We'll be right back with you for the finish of the women's, Rasan. We're going to catch the end of the end of the men's race here in just a second. See you in just a second there.
I'll see you soon.
Martin Cycles. All right, so back in with the men's racing, though, we do have, it looks like, the last half a lap, and it's going to be heating up here as they leave the volcano. Wai Wu with an attack off the front there out of China. G Leo now, the Lion here, following it up, 3.5 watts per kilogram. Not everything he's got, though, that's for sure. They're going to let Wu go off the front, I think, at this point, and not try and follow that up. We do see, it looks like Tony Stark is in there still. Are we going to see the Iron Man make an attack off the front there? Weber's there, too. Melting Man's in it as well. Again, here is the current situation. Scotty Weiss, G. Leo, Cunningham, Melting Man. But Melting Man, Weiss and Leo, the only ones that were able to make this lead group, but it's Brandy Melting Tallow now, 3.0 watts per kilogram, sitting in. Weiss, the first time we've seen this where he has not gone off the front and attacked, maybe just going to wait for the sprint, 174 beats per minute. Looks like this might be an upset kind of day. Can G. Leo make it happen? Second overall, we've seen him try and go with the likes of Weiss almost every single week. Is it going to happen is the question here. Here it comes. It looks like the attack from Weber, though. Who is Weber? This is the wild card out of nowhere. Weber now with the attack, 13 watts per kilogram, 850 watts. Scotty Weiss now trying to jump on that wheel, maybe giving the draft to a couple other riders, though. Maybe Team Draft can get in the draft is the question, though. Where is G. Leo? Now an arrow power-up. Weiss now trying to come across, though. Scotty with 11 watts per kilogram, 640 watts, 183 beats per minute, trying to go. Avengers is off the back. No Tony Stark can be making it for this finish. Scotty Weiss, though, letting us know who the dominant one is in the West Series now as he attacks off the front. It will be Scotty Weiss for the W. Second place overall, G. Leo trying to follow up Woo, unable to take him out. Tony Stark for that third, it looks like, out on course. What an amazing sprint there between the riders. Melting Man going to be getting the back seat there, it looks like, in that sprint. Not sure where Weber ended up there. I think he was second overall. We'll have to wait and see as the heart rates do come down, and we'll be getting the replay of that in just a little bit here. But let's jump back in with the women's racing as things are heating up in the women's race now. We don't have a camera view just yet from the women's race, but we will get that back in just a second here. We're looking through here, and we do see it is still a lead group here on their last, I think, setting into their last lap in just a moment here. They are out by it looks like the ocean, so they are going to come around, head into two-tier, and have one lap to go. The bell lap is going to be starting in just a moment here. Savatier, Trinell, it looks like Gillick is in there still. It looks like Reinhardt from LaGrange still able to hang in there, hanging tough for the live event down at I. Martin Cycles. It's going to be a barn burner, I think, of a last lap now. Gaffney up toward the front for USMES now. 18 miles in, it looks like 43 minutes of racing so far. Another 5 minutes or so, 6 minutes probably of racing after they go through for that bell lap. They'll be finishing in about 50 minutes or so total. Seal now hanging on, it looks like 180 beats per minute. Hines is there as well. Chernell from the KRT team, 179, now making her way to the front. A little bit of a dig coming from KRT right now. Are they going to make this happen? Hines sitting on. KRT always showing up in force in this KISS Crit series, wanting to make sure they know who is running this series out here. And it looks like Real now sitting in still, looking comfy, 4.5 watts per kilogram, following the pack. No serious attacks just yet. Now, a little bit different race, though, this week. Jennifer Real usually able to break things up a little bit more than this, but this week things are much tighter with a lot more riders showing up, and it looks like a lot more riders closing the gaps down, keeping the pack all together. So Chernell now up to the front, Jennifer Real calming things down, closing the gap down, and it looks like we've got the lull before the storm. We've got the calm before the storm here. The things are about to go wild. We're going to see a lot of thunder, I think, in just a moment. Lightning and thunder in just a moment as things just go full on mayhem, I think, either into the sprint, or will we see an early attack and somebody try to get away who does not want that sprint, does not want that final climb, and would rather see a breakaway situation in the final lap. But they've got to have an all-out 5 to 6 minute effort. It's about 5 to 6 minutes, maybe a little more than 6 around this lap here, and it's going to be everything they got to make this happen. Let's see if we can get some live tactics here coming in from I. Martin Cycles. We'll jump in with them. I think they are ready for us here, and it looks like Rasan, what do we got going on there? What's the tactics currently, and who are we with?
Yep, I'm here with Reinhardt. She has been a fighter the entire race. They just hit one lap to go, 2.4 miles. She is digging 223 watts right now, so not digging too hard. I think Coach Mike Davis is in her ear, giving her all the tricks to the trade, and we'll see how good of a coach he is, but she is definitely a strong rider. pushing the pedals for over 45 minutes right now, nonstop. And, you know, that's exactly what you have to do when you're racing a Zwift race, is never let off the pedals. Reinhardt is looking absolutely fantastic, and I think LaGrange owes her a steak dinner sometime this week.
A lot of focus there, serious focus right now from that rider. You can see it.
Absolutely.
She is trying to follow those wheels right now. You can see trying to stay with the group. It looks very, very tactical almost, the way that she is focusing on that screen to make sure she does not lose a wheel. And at the same time, you can tell there's not a huge punch of dynamic efforts coming out. It's more of this situation of following the wheels, waiting for the right time, and that they do not get away. And then I'm expecting a big sprint, though. I wonder if it's going to be there for the legs, though.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Reinhardt, so I will figure out if she's a sprinter or not. They are down to 1.8 miles. But the funny thing is, hey, remember last week I said Kate can't sprint, and Kate can only go uphill, but Kate has a lot of power, and what does she do? She ended up winning the race. So power is king when it comes to these bike races inside Zwift. So really eager to see how she finishes up this race. 46 minutes thus far. They will be right under 50 minutes for this entire race, which is one of the longer races I've seen or ever actually worked on with Zwift. So this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, half a lap to go. Half a lap to go. The focus is real, and it looks like here for the women's race, McInnes, it looks like at the back here, Quinn Savatier, now 10 riders, 10 places here for the final, actually. Now, this is in a series of races. For those of you who are just tuning in, the current leaderboard for the women in the West is Jennifer Reel, Katie Levi, not out there today. Christine Culver is out there today. Catherine Savatier is out there as well, but Dawn Victor did not show up. So there's a couple of spots open actually on the day for the women. So watch out for a couple of these women to be looking for the win, especially Christine Culver from Team Fearless. Now Culver, though, the teammate of Jennifer Reel, she'll be working with her for a Team Fearless 1-2 double here. Now we are seeing Reinhardt, though, up and out of the saddle from the live view here. A lot of people around her.
She's in the
really
front now,
encouraging her on.
Maybe she's getting a little itchy, Nathan. Yeah, I have about 1,000 people behind me cheering for Reinhardt right now. Yes, I'm Martin, Beverly Hills, knows how to throw a Zwift party. We're having a good time here. Lots of people cheering on the LaGrange girls as they race their first KISS crit, and it's going to be a good one. Out of all the girls in the shop, we have one last one standing, and she's in the group. We've been following Reinhardt for a while. We have Coach Davis, the Zwift master himself, in her ear, and she has a power-up. She knew nothing about the power-up. She has a power-up. Davis is like, I don't know. Why did you just tell the public? But a power-up is a power-up, and numbers don't lie. So we're only about a kilometer away from the finish. Reinhardt is skipping through gears. She's pushing. She's getting her breathing together, pushing 224 watts right now. She's loading up the cannon, and she's going to explode it pretty soon. Let's pay attention, folks.
Yeah, so here we go with the final now. We're going to jump into this now with, it looks like Jennifer Reel, series leader, making her way to the back now. They're about to hit that 2-tier. It's a climb that's super sharp, levels off a little bit, and then one last punch into the finish line. It's going to be a little bit of a climber's race here. It sounds like things are really starting to get exciting there on site now. And it looks like Culver, though, Team Fearless, as well as Jennifer, making their way to the front now. Hines from KRT also going. Looks like Chrysler here from Team Draft, not letting things go either. Where is Reinhardt? Reinhardt sitting pretty at the back. Going to be all about positioning, though, right now. Not too far back. Needs to move the way to the front.
A little bit.
Here goes Reel, though. Reel's at the front
the
now.
Uphill. Will we see an attack?
It's going to be all about the sprint. So looking through here, we're going to cut the audio real quick there from Bahati. We're going to cover this through this, though. We'll definitely get the live. We're going to get the live shot, though, of this sprint, though, from the seen there Ed Martin as Reinhardt tries to close things down. It looks like about 2 seconds back now as Real now is on the front trying to make the attack. It looks like she's got a little bit of a gap. Gillick is there as well. Reinhardt's given everything she can to the line. It looks like we'll catch this. It looks like 3.8 watts per kilogram with an arrow power up trying to hold on to that effort, but it's going to be Jennifer Real again. It looks like to the line 7.2 watts per kilogram, but no, Gillick is going to steal the day. It looks like Gillick across the line. Where's Reinhardt though? It looks like Reinhardt's coming to the line right along with Trinell to the line, and it looks like Reinhardt maybe be able to come across. Looks like it's going to be about a 8th place for Reinhardt on the day. What an effort. Look at her turn over the handlebars. What an effort there. Solid job. Yes. To the GRANGE girls there. Amazing effort from them.
Amazing job.
Rasan,
good job,
that
everyone.
was absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Killer result there for the LaGrange girls, and super effort there. And it looks like a little bit of an upset there for Jennifer Real. It'd be really great to hear from a few of the racers there. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at the replays here as they came through from the men's race. And we'll jump back in with you guys maybe for some interviews in just a moment, Rasan. So for the replay, though, for the men's race, let's take a quick little look at how things played out in the men's race on the day. It looks like it was the attack there from Scotty Weiss that was able to get away from the rest of the field. Why we tried to make it happen there. It was actually a very early attack there from the likes, I believe, of there was one rider off the front there, but it looks like Scotty had already called Weber. It was from the likes of Weber, but Weber maybe had some sort of a dropout or something because we're seeing 0 watts per kilogram from him while Scotty goes right on by. G. Leo trying to catch Waiwu, unable to do so there, but Tony Strike then from the Avengers, the Iron Man, coming through in 4th. Kyle there as well in 5th. It looks like the Melting Man then ends up in 6th place. Weber might not have even crossed the finish line. Very interesting to see there. Now, with the women's race, though, it looks like for the sprint, it was, as far as we can see here, let's go ahead and bring in the women's race here real quick. And it looks like in the women's race, it was actually the attack there from Real that went super early and got across the line in 2nd place to the wild card that got across the line there, but then it was Trinell, it looks like, and Reinhardt then the next one across the line, and it looked like it was about an 8th or 9th place for Reinhardt with those live action shots that we did get from the women's racing there. So let's go ahead and check out zwippower.com real quick for the live results, and then maybe we can get an interview. We'll see if we can grab one from the riders. I'll see if I can get a double check through some back-end communication here as if we can get that live interview. I don't want to push them too much there on site there, but it looks like for the men's results, according to zwippower.com, Scotty Weiss, Greg Leo, followed up by the Iron Man, and then I believe it was Cow, and then Brandy Melting Tallow, the next one across the line. In the women's race, then it looks like we do not have the results just yet. Dawn Victor, I did not realize that the account that won today was Dawn Victor. It's not the name in game. So I didn't realize that the rider that came across the line for the women there was actually the 5th place overall. Sorry about that, Dawn. I wasn't sure about the name in game, actually, but Dawn Victor ends up taking the W, who is a 5th overall and quickly rising in the series, because looking at the overall for the series results, actually, I'm going to take a quick little look at the North America League here. And according to the West results, from what I'm seeing, she's only got 5 races. She's got 1 less than Jennifer Real, who has 6 races, who just got a 2nd place overall. There is a race on our hands between Jennifer Real and Dawn Victor, because they both have matching wins at this point. 4 and 4. And it looks like Jennifer with 2 seconds, and it looks like Dawn with 1 second place. Watch out for Dawn Victor right on the heels of Jennifer Reel to be taking down that top spot as we get closer to our final 10 of races. It is a best of 7. They will start dropping off their worst races as they get their 7 races in and head towards more races over 7 into the final 10 here. Lots of racing still to happen. 3 more to go. We're on week number 7 in the Kiss Crit Series North America presented by Cyclops. Now, it looks like we do have Reinhardt live here coming in from Rasan. Let's go ahead and bring them right on in. How's it going there, Rasan? How's it going there?
I'm here.
Good to see you.
Oh, man, my voice is, I'm starting to lose my voice. Martin Bike Shop here on Beverly Boulevard has done a great job. They brought in the girls from LaGrange. Great host. I'm not going to tell you what we're eating and drinking on, but it's good. You should have been here. But I'm here with Claire Reinhardt. Not Reinhardt.
No H. No H. No H.
Hey, reading is fundamental. I didn't go to that class. Forgive me. Hey, tell me, this is only her 4th bike race ever. So she's done a cyclocross race, a crit, a road race, and a virtual race on Zwift. Tell us about it.
It was hard. Very hard.
Very, very hard. Hey, Nathan, have you ever heard anyone say that Zwift racing is not hard?
That's all we ever hear. That's all we ever hear, actually, about Zwift racing.
I'm glad that I got to try it.
Yeah.
I'm good at endurance sports, so I can just keep going for long periods of time.
So you're going to hop back on?
I have to ride home.
So she's going to ride home. And what about tomorrow? Are you going to subscribe to Zwift?
Yes.
Are you sold on Zwift?
I kind of want to work there.
She kind of want to work there. I was reading her profile. She said, I kind of like tacos. I kind of moved here from Davis. She's a kind of girl. You know what I mean? You got to get that kind of out of there.
So three races.
I love bike riding.
3 races. She did a great job. I think she did absolutely phenomenal. We definitely want to have you back. Come visit us at Zwift headquarters.
Done.
Teach the other ladies how to suffer a little more. Because that's all it's about, right? It's about suffering.
Yes, it's a love of the Sufferfest.
A love of the Sufferfest.
Find that line and ride it. Don't throw up. Just hold it right there close to it.
Easier said than done, but you made it look very easy. Thank you so much for having us here, and thanks for coming. Good job.
All right, thanks, Rasan.
It's been a great show here. Martin, Beverly Hills, done a great job. You ever in the West Side, Beverly Boulevard, come check them out. They have everything, including the smart trainers that you need to get on Zwift. So, Nate, thanks for having us, man, and hope to see you soon, man.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks, Rasan. Thanks to all the ladies from LaGrange, as well as Martin Bike Shop. All right, so that's it with our live coverage from the event there. But really amazing race there by Reinhardt. Killing it. I didn't know that. Only 3 races in real life. Jumps out there, kills it in a Zwift race, which is some of the hardest racing you can possibly do, chasing those pixels, actually. So, again, let's take a quick look at the results. It looks like, according to ZwiftPower.com, for the men's race, let's see if we can bring up any of the results here. We are seeing Scotty Weiss, it looks like, for the win again. Greg Leo, then it will be Brandy Meltingtalo in 5th place there. And I'm trying to read the names here. They're in a language I cannot actually read, it looks like. So I'm not sure I'm going to be able to bring them in, but I think it was the Tony Martin as well as Kyle in there in the 3rd and 4th place there. And unable to actually take, I think, results though for the North America. So they will not be in the points as they were not they were not from North America, so they get no points toward the series overall. They just grab a few points from some of the other riders. So Dawn Victor, Jennifer Reel battle, though, at the front end of the women's racing. That's definitely one of the stories out there today. Then it's going to be Christine Culver. It looks like out there. Actually, no, excuse me. N. Seal is out there, 3rd place. This rider, interesting to see here. Has she been doing any other races? Yes, I am seeing North America crit race actually with the 3rd place out here. Seal also took a 5th place. I'd be watching out for N Seal in the overall actually as she starts to make her way into this series actually. N Seal I'm looking through 12th place overall, 3 races total. There is time. This is her 4th race. That means she can make her way into the final, actually, but she's got to keep showing up. She keeps on consistently showing that she can get into that top 5. She'll punch a ticket to the live final, actually. So watch out for NSEAL to start showing up in those rankings for that top 5. And I think we're going to start seeing the likes of Barb Kreisel as well. Lisa Hines. We're getting these names in there at that top 10 situation in these races right now. Salvatierra as well, now taking in 8th place, but currently sitting in, I think it is 4th overall. So lots of situations here where riders who have come in later are starting to make their way into that top 5 or top 10 and starting to threaten the overall points, actually. So this was the situation for the men's and the women's. Well, they're not going to get too much changes in the men's, but watch out for this women's leaderboard. And I think next week in the West, we'll see some change up with it for sure. All right. That's going to be it from me over at Zwift Community Live. I'm Nathan Guerra from Zwift Community Live. If you haven't done so already, check out our Facebook page. Check out especially our twitch.tv page /Zwift Community Live. You hit the follow button over there. That's the place to get live updates anytime that we do any live streaming related to Zwift. You can also click the Zwift icon, the Zwift game icon on Twitch, and you can see all the other videos from live streamers on Twitch, from their personal streams to other broadcasters that do commentary. It's the place to be when it comes to live streaming with Zwift. So that's the difference, actually, for those of you. The reason I don't know, the reason I promote that is it gives you push notifications, whereas other platforms kind of do an algorithm and base things on whether or not it has been shared or liked or you interact with it at all when it goes through your feed. You want push notifications from Zwift Community Live? Hit that follow button over at Twitch and you will get them. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. And as always, great job to all the racers. Amazing job out there. And a big old ride on.